everybody. Welcome to another Tuesday Night Live. I appreciate everybody coming. We are also happy to have you here. I am joined by special co-host Tay. Next to me, Prison to Profit. Julian's still out wandering the roads sourcing. He will be back next week. So I think he's gone again in October too. So he'll be back for probably 4 or 5 shows and then he's running around again. But Tay so graciously agreed to fill in, and we are joined by Rachel Strickland beneath me, as well as Scott over at Chachingking. They have been on multiple times before. I'm happy to have them on again. We have Mark and Marcia, who is Red Cardinal Treasure, dropping links for us tonight. Richard is off running around somewhere. I don't know where he's at. So Mark and Marcia, thank you guys for dropping links. And both of... You can subscribe to Mark. We need to make him do a video. He said for like over a year now he's going to do a video, so maybe we can force him to do that. So they'll be dropping the links to all these channels, so definitely subscribe if you're not. I'm going to make Rachel big. Let these guys give you a quick introduction, and then we will get to the questions. Here's Miss Rachel.
Hey guys, I am Rachel Strickland. I'm a full-time reseller on eBay, Poshmark, and sometimes whatnot. I have a YouTube channel here by my name, Rachel Strickland, and you can also find me on Instagram, Reseller Rachel Strickland.
Perfect. Here's Scott.
I'm Scott, also known as Chachingking, and I'm on YouTube, but my wife and I are full-time sellers on eBay, Poshmark, and Etsy, and been at it since '99.
Perfect. Me too. Here's Tay.
Hello, my name is Dante, full-time reseller entrepreneur, and I am honored to be co-hosting here with Kat.
Everybody's short tonight. We're keeping it short and sweet. Short and sweet tonight.
We're going to be out of here in 15 minutes tops.
Good luck with that. All right. Teacher Treasure Chest has the first question of the night. She wants to know if someone can explain how to do combined shipping. She's saying she feels like it seems really complicated.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that they're talking about on eBay because that's probably where it would be most complex. And it would be really cool if I had someone buy more than one thing at a time so I could walk in through this. But you can send invoices. You could either do the shipping, like weigh the item and then issue them a partial refund, for the difference, or you could send them an actual invoice with like the detail of the shipping. But the invoice, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, is only if they haven't paid for the item yet.
Right.
That is correct. You can only send combined if they haven't paid. If they have paid, when you click on like all of your orders and click to ship them, then at the top it says combine orders by buyer, and you click that and it puts them together. So it's really not complicated. It's either send an invoice and combine it before they pay, or after they pay, combine it, and then you can issue them a refund after you ship. Just remember that eBay takes fees. eBay takes 1% of that shipping, so don't go like feeling like you need to refund that exact amount. If it's only a few dollars, I'm not refunding anything. I'm only going to do it if it's like probably $5+ And normally I wouldn't even with the 5, but I have my license plates and my Harley pins, and I have a lot of them and people are coming back. So I feel like if I refund them, they're more likely to come by more. Whereas before I didn't really do that. But it's so funny. Rachel said, I wish people would buy more than one item. Yesterday, we have 43 go out on eBay and not one combined. That was the first time. And Brad's like, how are there 43 orders and not one combined yesterday? So it doesn't happen all the time, but like when you get a lot, like the Harley pins or plates where a lot of the same type, that's when I think you're more likely to see those, like multiple purchases from the same buyer. Deborah says, most people say it takes a minute to list. How long does it take you per item? And does that include item research, pictures, editing, weighing, etc.?
I think it really depends on what you're listing, because if you're listing shirts or any type of clothing, it takes forever, in my opinion, to list, because I'm taking pictures of the measurements, the tags, like the care tag, the fabric content and everything, and then folding and putting away those items. But then like if you're listing DVDs, like you could probably get through, several of those per minute. I don't know, maybe a couple minutes a piece at most. Or if I'm listing photographs, I mean, I could sit down and list 50 photographs in 30 minutes or less, you know? So it really kind of depends on the item. If I had to give you an average, like, what is it, 3 to 5 minutes an item if you're really going through it and not watching YouTube?
Or did somebody catch those super chats and things?
Yeah,
like
I'm going to
Okay.
grab them
Okay.
after this.
I don't ship fast. I mean, I don't ship. I'm still thinking about the first question. I don't list fast, and I have never focused on listing fast. I've focused on finding better and better stuff. I put my efforts towards that. So I might spend a long time researching something because I feel like I'm going to make a lot more money on that item if I do. So I'm probably, depending upon the item, somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes per item.
Yeah, so I'm very similar. It just all depends on the item. You know, it can be anywhere between 1, and if my OCD is kicking in, it can take me 3 hours to work on a listing. It really just all depends. You know, sometimes I'm a sell similar guy, so I love hitting sell similar. But when I go through sell similar, I want to make sure that the shipping is inputted in correctly. You know, I want to make sure that they have the proper weight in. So usually anywhere between, again, just depending on the item. Like she said, if it's a DVD or something like that, you know, you just take 4 quick pictures, and that's about a minute and a half. But you have like something like a t-shirt, or, you know, even something that you have to take out the box and take pictures of because it's open box, you know, they can take anywhere to like 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah, for me, I agree exactly with what Rachel said. Like Harley pins are like front, back. I know they all weigh under 4 ounces, so I'm not weighing them. So I know my shipping. Researching for the Harley pins is less than like 30 seconds to a minute each. If I can't find the exact one, I'm going to price where I think it should be. I'm not going to spend forever. Unless, like Scott said, I do agree with Scott. Like if it's an item that I, with my experience, feel like it's going to be worth a lot of money, I might spend a half an hour researching it to find that exact item, because it might be worth $200, $300, $400, $500. But I caution people that are new, because you don't want to spend 30 minutes researching something that's worth $10, you know, and you just, you know, like cut your profits out. And that kind of comes with experience. I like my hankies and stuff that I just price them. So I know like I'm pricing like 10, 15, 20 bucks, and there's no researching. So it really depends. I only weigh items that are heavy. So I've been doing it so long, most stuff I'm going to guess, and I'm right about 80, 85% of the time. I am off sometimes. I sold an Xbox 360 today, and I put it at 3 pounds. It weighed 10. I was like, oh crap. So now I have another Xbox 360 in my death pile list. I'm going to know it weighs 10 pounds. So it was about a $5 cost. Luckily, they were on the East Coast, not in California, or it would have really, really hurt. But I would say average is 3 to 5 minutes, like overall average. All right, let me grab the new member and the super chats real quick. All right, Miss Cora Hare became a YouTube member. Thank you. Guys, if you don't know, this Thursday, it's the second Thursday of every month, we do the eBay member store reviews and listing reviews, where I go look at your store and kind of give you some feedback to hopefully improve your sales. So that is this coming Thursday. I'm gonna see, now I'm doing what Scott did. I'm gonna post tonight asking for your links, and I'll have that open until Thursday morning for people to enter and get entered to have their reviews done. So this week's a good week to join. So Miss Cora, here is your dolphin.
Welcome to the flipping family.
And here's where we hope I'm going to try and scroll and put them on screen. Hopefully that will work. Miss Janet sent a $5 super chat and said, what is the cheapest or best way to ship heavy oversized items like framed prints?
I'm going to say by oversized, anything larger than a cubic foot is not a USPS shipped item. So if FedEx or UPS is going to be your cheaper options, in my opinion, so put the actual true dimensions and the weight and see which FedEx or UPS is cheaper.
Yeah, same for me. FedEx is a pretty tough call out where I'm at, because they haven't been invented out here yet. So I have UPS as an option I can get to, but if it's like Rachel said, bigger than a cubic foot, mine's going to go UPS.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And if you're talking about like the type of item in specifically, and you're having trouble shipping anything in particular, what I would suggest is calculating your profit margins and have UPS actually ship that item for you. They'll box it up, wrap it up, and ship it for you for a small fee. I would just check and see exactly how much that fee would be. That'll save you the burden of wondering if your item's going to make it in time. They'll also give you insurance with it too, so it'll guarantee a safe arrival.
Yeah, that's a great option for items that have like 100 plus profit built in. If you have a UPS, my UPS store doesn't pack, so we don't have that option. Most times for me, like 9 times out of 10, UPS is the cheaper over FedEx. It's only by pennies. They're normally pretty close in their price. And my store is like UPS and FedEx, so it wouldn't matter which one. But I agree. I also will do UPS or FedEx on those bigger items. And like my framed prints ship in TV boxes. You can get TV boxes either from Amazon or you can get them at the U-Haul store as well. So they both have TV boxes, and that's a good way. All right, I'm gonna give the 3 of you. We're gonna do a group dolphin. I've never done a group dolphin, but we're getting ready to. So Miss Janet, Miss Kathleen, and I see a new one that just came in. Miss Jennifer sent $4.99 as well and said thank you for all the information. All 3 of you, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Here's your group Charlie Dolphin. Here you go.
Super chat.
All right, I'm scrolling up to find a question. So normally Julian and last week Katie did it for me. I have nobody clicking the bottom. I'm like on my own tonight. So hopefully I can figure this out. You can yell at me if I miss you. All right. Raining Retro, North Carolina. On List Perfectly, if you push an eBay listing that is on sale to the List Perfectly catalog, does it record the price as full price or the sale price?
Scott looks like he knows the answer to this. I'm going to defer to him. The king can take this one.
It takes the sale price and puts that as the price. So if you've got something on sale and that isn't the price that you want to list it at on one of the other platforms, you need to go in and change it.
Yeah, and we mark up for Etsy too. So like I'm always running a sale. So my mom just multiplies whatever's in eBay into the List Perfectly catalog and then prices it out there. But it will, whatever your actual price is, whether it's on sale or not, is what it's going to take. All right. If you were taking a road trip, Tay just took a road trip. If you were taking a road trip and had time to stop at a few stores along the way and a couple near your hotel, this is a good question. How would you pick where to go?
Me personally, I'm probably going to look for like a mall and paw or church thrift first, because I think that they're going to be priced more competitively. Plus it's going to, the money is going to go towards a really great mission. So I can eliminate Goodwill right away. And then maybe like if I found like a Savers, I would go in there because I've never been to one. So I'm going to go mall and paw places and anywhere I've never been. That would be my pick.
I normally try to work out my road trips around the weekend so I can hit their garage sales and estate sales where I'm going. So instead of picking at a thrift store, and I would do the same thing Rachel does, but I would try to get to the garage sales in that area.
So for me, I travel all the time, so I love this question. What I literally do at every new place is I'll pull out my maps on my phone and just type in thrift store, and thrift store is near me. And that literally will pull up Goodwills, even the small mom and pop thrift stores, as well as just ones that you haven't even thought about. So that's the first thing that I do. And then after that, I will go to Craigslist. And if I'm looking for yard sales and stuff like that, then I will filter whatever city I'm in and then look for yard sales that way and garage sales.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm leaning towards the church, like Habitat for Humanity, not your big name thrift stores as well, because I believe they're more competitively priced. I wouldn't necessarily not go to a Goodwill. If I had time, I would go to the Goodwill because it's interesting to see in different locations what they have. And I agree too, as far as the garage sales, I use yard sale treasure map. So I will have it open and like, it'll move you and show you ones like by where you're driving, what's closest to you. And it won't let you draw a route anymore like it used to, but that is a really, really good way to do it too. And my road trips are typically centered around the thrifts. I will tell you guys probably the best thrifting place that I have been, hands down, is Birmingham, Alabama, for clothes. I found so many dollar clothes with like, you know, like sports teams, NFL, college teams for $1. Like I might have to like plan me a trip back to Birmingham just to thrift. Like it was that good. All right. Ulterior Motives with Carrie sent a $5 super chat. Oh, Carrie has COVID. Oh no. She wanted pity. Well, you're getting pity. I'm sorry. I hope you feel better. That sucks. All right. I see another one. Mark is on it, sending me. Okay, we're doing another group dolphin, so I don't like drive you guys crazy with my dolphin. Martha also sent a $9.99 super chat. Carrie, I hope you feel better soon. I think most everybody has probably gotten COVID by now, unfortunately. So hopefully you bounce back from that quick. Thank you guys both. Here is your dolphin.
Super chat.
While I'm scrolled down there, we're doing group dolphins tonight. I'm going to get Dolphin to do it. Listen, Dalton was like, It's so funny. He like eggs himself on. He's like, let's go, Dalton. And I'm like, I need to get that for like while he's playing his little games. Let's go, Dalton. It's kind of fun. He was doing that today. And I'm like, man, that would be like so perfect. Okay. Val has a question. Where did she go? There she is. Miss Val says she sold 2 calculators to the same buyer. No response from the buyer. eBay said it was okay to combine. They were free shipping. And of course that saves her money. The buyer said I did not send one because I had no tracking. So I had to refund one. So do we want to tell her how to correctly do that where it is attached?
Yeah, so I use bulk shipping, and if you pull up bulk shipping, which you could just click on the notification in the upper right, and it'll say, 7 items to ship, or even if it says 2 items to ship, I think if it's 2 or more, you have the option to go to bulk shipping. And then you can actually, in the upper left of bulk shipping, it says combine orders per buyer, or you could select each little checkbox and combine all of those orders. And then that way, that same tracking information is going to be uploaded for both calculators. But it sounds like maybe the way you did it, you sold one and just included it in the box, and then so the other never got a tracking number, which is unfortunate. Chalk it up as education you paid for, unfortunately.
I don't use the bulk shipping, so that was interesting to hear. I do it a completely different way. When I combine shipping, when I ship the first one, I copy the tracking number, and then in the second one, you can add a tracking number, and I add the tracking number there. And so,
will it let you? Because I've tried using the same, and it'll tell me that tracking number's already been used, and it wouldn't let me input it.
I have never had any trouble with it, and I have never used the bulk shipping because I do mine one piece at a time. I don't care for bulk shipping.
Okay, that's interesting to know. But yeah, you would want to, Val, some way you need to attach that tracking number. That buyer was being shady because they know they got it. Hold on. Katie, I'm taking you out.
You showed
She's
her.
Still here. Katie's still here. Katie, click something. Katie's the ghost in the room. Woo! Go, Katie. All right. Katie's helping us watch the bottom. She's amazing, guys. Katie reads. If you're not subscribed to her, Katie helps me a lot. Katie just messaged. I didn't want to bug her. She asked me if I wanted her to. I greatly appreciate that.
She's awesome.
Okay. She is amazing. Allison says, if you receive a negative feedback, buyer never contacted you, will eBay remove the feedback if you issue a refund?
I don't think so.
Yep.
I've never had that happen, but you guys are saying yes.
I have
depends on the
depends upon what it is. I have over
depends.
6,000 feedback, And if you want to go to mine, it's old school where you can scroll all the way back to the beginning of time, and I do not have a single negative on there. I have had every single one of them removed. And so if there is ever an opportunity, I'm sure at some point I'm going to get one I can't fight, but I get every single one of them removed. If they never contacted me and I gave them a refund, I would contact eBay and say, it's all about customer service. Look at my history. And I feel confident I can get it removed, but at some point, I'm sure I'll get one that I can't.
Yeah, I think you have to be a top-rated seller. I think that's what the thing is there. But it used to be if you refunded them, it would take it away. But I'm not sure anymore if they don't like request a return. If they request a return and you refund them 100%, that negative feedback is removed. But if they don't, I used to do that because if it would be like a $5 item, I'd refund them, contact eBay, and they would take it off. Now, they'll also take it off if it's being mean and not factual. Like if they're being an idiot in that feedback, definitely contact eBay. I've gotten a couple removed for that as well. So definitely, if they're nasty in it, you're going to be able to get it removed, which is nice. I'm not like Scott. I have not been able to remove them all. I think I have 4 or 5 in the last year. But we ship out hundreds of items a week, and it's like some people you can't make happy, and I've had to come to terms with that, and it is what it is. All right, Katie, hit them. We got 2. Look at this. Look at this. Hold on. I think I'm looking at my calendar. Mike, I don't know if you know this. I got to tell Mike. So Mike and Carrie are broken up for next week because Carrie American Arbitrage is traveling the country and couldn't come to the show next week. So Mike is going to be joined for the first time in like a lot of shows because Carrie and Mike have been coming on forever together. Next week, though, it is going to be Mike Golden State Picker along with Troy over at Mountain Man Treasures. I had to break up Carrie and Mike because Carrie's running around being a nomad around the country thrifting, which is pretty cool. American Arbitrage, guys, if you haven't checked him out. I know Tay just went to a barbecue by his Trash to Cash podcast. So definitely check them out. All right, let's hit the other 2 and do a group. We're doing group dolphins tonight. All right. Miss Val said it was her first 2 item sales. And special thanks to Kat. You know why. I helped Miss Val out. I helped her out. Hopefully it'll get her going. I did something for her today, hopefully to help her. And I agree that it sounds shady. I think that was, it might have even been another reseller trying to pull one over on you. I hate to say that, but because I think only sellers know, oh, they didn't attach that tracking number. I can say I never got it. You know, so that's what sounds fishy to me. And then I see my friend Danny May. What does Miss Danny May? Everyone on the panel has been on my show except Kat. She's spoiling it. Danny May called me yesterday or the day before, asked me to come on her show. I agreed. So I will be coming on Danny May's show September 22nd. She's going to interview me. We will see how that goes. She's like, we don't talk about resale. I'm like, my life is reselling, Danny May. That is my life. So I don't know what we'll talk about if we don't talk about reselling, because that's like 90% of what I do. So, all right, to all 3 of you, thank you so much. Here is Charlie the Dolphin.
Super chat.
All right. Miss Cece, Fab Flip Lady, she has a YouTube channel as well, guys. I think she's got 5 or 6 videos out now. She came, Scott, you met Cece in Tennessee at our camp. Do you remember Cece?
Oh, yeah.
So Cece was at my camp. Yes, she has a YouTube now. Yeah. She said, if you do promote listings on eBay, why do you do it? And do you have a set standard amount?
So I do promote listings. I promote listings in lieu of a sale, and maybe I should do it in combination with a sale. But in my opinion, if eBay has the option to either push out a listing that is on sale and they're not going to receive anything extra if that sells, or a promoted listing where they're going to receive extra, I just feel like maybe they're more apt to push out the promoted listing. Like they make more money that way. So why would they not want to push your item? If you were always going to do like a 10% sale, for instance, you could do whatever the prevailing rate is, or whatever, what do they call like the popular rate? The trending rate, up to a certain amount. Kat had some advice about that in the past. And so that's what I've been doing on my listings. Like whatever the trending amount is, up to 5% or up to 7% or however much. But yeah, all my stuff's promoted.
I promote a lot of things. I don't promote items that I know I have the only one. If I'm listing something that's so rare that I don't have any competition, I'm not going to promote that. But I do promote. I started pretty much just out of peer pressure because other people were promoting, and but it
That's
seemed
not
to
nice.
help. So.
It wasn't our fault.
Oh, well, yeah, I promote too. I promote pretty much 97% of the items that's in my store I promote. Just because, like Rachel said, I spoke about that very same thing on my videos. Like eBay is going to push your item out first because eBay wants that change. They don't care if it's 2%. Well, that's the lowest fee now. They don't care if it's 2%. They want that 3 cents that they're going to get off this one buyer. eBay's greedy. They want all the dollars that they possibly get. And I mean, it creates more sales. It definitely generates more sales when you do promote your items. And that's what the name of the game is for me. You know, I just factor in whatever my profit margins I would like, and I would promote based off that. And I just think everybody should promote. Everybody should definitely promote something.
Yeah, I mean, that is what eBay wants us to do.
Yeah, one thing I won't promote though, let's say if I have a very popular item. If I have a popular item, I will not promote that item just because it's going to sell regardless. And like he said, if I have an item that's one of a kind, I won't promote that either just because it'll probably sell.
See, I'm OCD and I don't want to see you have X amount of items to promote. So I promote everything, even if I have the only one, which a lot of times I do. But just because you list promoted, guys, that doesn't mean it sells promoted. For me, it's about 50-50 whether it sells promoted or not. I promote trending plus 3%, and I cap it at 11%. And I buy cheap. So that's a big thing. Like if you buy really cheap at like 5 to 10% of what you're going to sell for, you've got the room there to promote it and still make a good profit. Plus you make more sales. So that's kind of my reasoning. And I went to that because I was doing a flat 10%. And then I realized like the average in a lot of categories I sell in is like 2 or 3%. So even doing trending plus 3, I'm still only at 5 or 6 where I was doing 10. So I actually like lessened how much I was doing it by doing that. All right, Mr. Jeremy, what's the coolest, not necessarily the most expensive thing you've ever flipped?
I sold a nickel for $10.
That is kind of cool.
It wasn't like some Buffalo nickel. It wasn't like George Washington didn't carry it in his pocket. It was a nickel out of my pants pocket. I sold it to someone I do not know. Because like I sold a potato chip, but the ATL flippers bought it. You know, like there's always a story tied to it. This was to someone I did not know. It was a nickel and it sold for $10. And that'll be like the most proud I ever am is of that $10.
I have a lot. I've actually been working on a video of my favorite flips that have nothing to do with how much I made. The first one I thought of when I saw the question, we picked up some, I don't know what you call them. They're like, after somebody's had a mastectomy, it's the replacement breast. I don't know.
Like the breast inserts?
Amoena, I think was the brand name. And, you know, they're super expensive. And I bought them at an estate sale. They were new. They hadn't been used. And I listed them and I got a lot of lowball offers, but you could tell that they were like resellers. And I got one that was just different. You could tell from her purchase history. It was an older lady. So I sold them super cheap, like not even at cost. And she never said anything, but then I got a note from her and I can't talk about it, but that's one of my favorite.
He said, I'm giving away my video. I can't.
That's awesome. That's beautiful.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
So I guess since it's the coolest thing, I would say probably, wow. So I guess Carissa, she bought a shirt for me last year that came from my convention, and all the money that came from that shirt had went to this guy who bought a ticket to come to one of my conventions and he couldn't make it. So with that shirt, we donated to all the money to all the things that he loved before he passed away. I don't know the proper terminology for medical terms, but he was in the medical field and he did something very specific in the medical field. And we pulled up like one of the charities and we donated all the money for that to his charity. So that's probably like the coolest thing.
Yeah, for me, I think it's my linens just because they're handmade and like I know how much work goes into them. And I think they should be appreciated more than they are. That's why I love the linens so much that are handmade. I actually oh, wait. Those bags are filled with hand cross-stitched quilts. The whole quilt.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Wow.
probably 50 plus hours into those. I'm going to do a haul video. We just brought those in today. And just the thought of somebody taking hours and hours of time to make stuff like that and be able to, you know, keep it from going to the landfill because it's not appreciated as much, I don't feel like. So
No, you
I don't
saved
always
it.
make a lot of money, but I love it. It's not stuff I would display in my house. That's not my style, but I appreciate like how much time and work it went to go into those handmade items. And I really appreciate them. Miss Kathy has a good question. What do you do on days when your motivation sags? And she's saying hi. Oh, Kathy was at camp too. So all my camp people are in the house. Thank you guys all for coming in. We appreciate you.
So motivation is fleeting, like it comes, it goes. You can't depend on motivation. You can depend on discipline. So you need to be disciplined. Like it's a sad thing that we can't be self-employed the way that we would work for other people. Like we were talking earlier about how long it takes you to list. Sit down to list and imagine that someone's paying you per listing that you get out. I bet you get those things out in lightning speed. And that is how you're being paid. You are being paid per listing. So like I said earlier, you know, not watch YouTube. And I know they were kidding around in the chat, like, what else would you do? But like, truthfully, we get so distracted. So if you're lacking motivation, like just download some determination, I guess, some discipline and just get it done. Like treat your business like your business. It's your job. So just do it. Right.
I have a pond on my property and I go fishing and I don't work. You know, the reality of it is you can't do that. If you're not motivated, what's nice when you work for yourself is you can shift gears and maybe I can stop taking pictures if I don't want to do that. And I can work on doing some cross posting or something like that. But you got to work. If you don't work, you're not going to get paid.
I'm I'm glad I'm not gonna be the only one to have a kind of bad answer. So there's 365 days a year. I'm not gonna lie. There's so many days that I wake up and I just feel like crap and I don't feel like doing nothing. And guess what? I don't do nothing. I lay around and I don't do nothing. That's just the reality of it. Maybe like 10 days out of the year, maybe that occurs, but it does happen. And I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel bad. I don't get mad at myself for not doing anything that day because I'm a human being. We have emotions. Everybody has different emotions and things that they need to work through and go through. So I think that's like just it's different with everybody else. So it differentiates with everybody else. It just all depends on the person and the personality. So, but I know that, you know, the other 350 something days, I went hard or I went in, you know what I'm saying? So I know this 1 or 2 lazy day that I'm going to have in a week, it's going to be okay. So, you know, mental health is a real issue, you know what I'm saying? So when I think about motivation, I don't use that word because motivation and how that ties is something completely different. I use that word and I see like, you know, maybe you're depressed when I say motivation lacking. So I just use that energy and just, you know, just do what you need to do to decompress and then get right back at it tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree. And today was one of those days for me. I was telling Scott and Rachel in the background, I was scrolling on Facebook last night and found a book, and it's like not a motivational book. It's like a fictional book. It's just a fun book. And I was up until 4 o'clock in the morning reading it, and I was still not done. So guess what I did all day today? I kept reading the book. I got nothing done today, but that's okay. I agree with Tay. Like sometimes you got to take a break. As long as it's not repetitive, if this is your income, you can't be doing that every day. If it's once in a while, it's okay. I think so. I agree with Scott too. We can switch gears. So like if I'm listing a ton of Harley pins and I'm bored out of my mind, so that's why I'm not motivated, I can switch to like the quilts that I love or handkerchiefs, or you can do something else that's still kind of productive in your business. It can be very monotonous, especially if you're doing the same thing. So I think breaking it up, and sometimes you just got to make yourself do it if it is too much, because that's your income. So like if your sales are slacking because you're not doing enough, like I have to kick myself. And like tomorrow will be like, Kat, you're not allowed to read. You're doing some listings. You just spent $1,700 on an auction that's sitting on the ground, and we don't even have, like, look, we don't even have room to ship because there are boxes from the auction back there. So tomorrow, Dalton's first day of school, so Dalton won't be here to distract me. I'm gonna get on that stuff tomorrow, but today was a lazy day, and that's okay. Sometimes it's okay. You don't always have to be motivated to do stuff. All right, Miss Deborah, I had someone look at my listing a few months ago. They said I had niche items. How many items are niche items in your store, and do you counterbalance it with fast moving, high dollar items?
No, I am really passionate about reselling, and it's because I pick up, I'm gonna say 99.5% of the things I pick up are vintage or designer. They're things that they aren't making anymore. I mean, that's pretty niche, I would say. If I can't do Amazon return pallets. If I wanted to do that, like I would beat my head against the wall. I would go work for someone else. And so, yeah, 99.5% of my store is niche, I suppose, in the way that most of it is really cool vintage. Some of it only I like, maybe. I don't know. I seem to find buyers for it.
Today, I listed a trumpet. I listed some 1950s toys that were new old stock. I listed some World War II camp books. And so I think everything I do is niche. I'm the repetitive stuff for me will be like that locker somebody commented on it that's full of sweats from the 1970s and 80s. That's repetitive because there's a bunch of the same kind of things, but even those are niche. So you do what, if you like it enough that you can find out what it's worth and get it listed, that's what you need to list.
And my store is filled with just all kinds of stuff. If it's not nailed down and if I can scan it and if it's profitable, I list it. I'm not a really, niche down when it comes to me only selling in like a few categories or something like that. Yeah, I'm with the Amazon return pallets. I'm with the bin stores. I'm with Goodwill, Walmart. Like I will walk into my local convenient gas station and find something to flip. I mean, it's just, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, and I think it depends on like what people mean by niche. Like when I think of that, I think of like you're specializing in something, and I don't have one. I'm all over the place. I do whatever I want, whatever I like. I don't know that there's such thing as fast. I mean, there is, but I don't find fast moving high dollar items. Most of my high dollar stuff takes a while to sell. It's not fast moving. So I do try to have, though, a mix of high dollar and like more bread and butter, $15, $20, $25 items. Because the high dollar don't sell every day, So I think that like I like to have a balance. You don't have to, but that's my preference. I missed it. See, that's why Katie's here. I would not have seen that. Deborah Anderson, 498 super chat. Thank you so much. Katie, thank you. I appreciate you. I'm glad the baby's sleeping. Let you help. Here's your dolphin, Deborah. Thank you.
Super chat.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Cheryl wants to know, does anyone post video clips on their eBay listings? And if so, how do you do it?
I haven't utilized it yet. I've heard some folks have great success. You do have to do that from the desktop version of the eBay listing using the new listing tool, correct?
Yeah.
I think it has to be online on the new tool. I think.
The only one I've done, I actually did before they had the new tool. I had an early 1900s French animatron classroom, and I posted a video for that because I wanted to show that it worked. But for most of my stuff, it isn't. I don't need it.
Yeah, I never have, and I honestly probably never will.
There you go.
Yeah, I made some of my Miteki pottery because some of them were like $200, $300, $400. I got the fancy little turntable thing, and then I couldn't find the new listing tool, so the videos I took never went up, and I have not used it. So I might. You can only do it on the computer, and you can also link a YouTube, is what people used to do, but the only reason I think I would do it is if I had something high dollar that was like mechanical or played music or, something that I would need to show it working. But it would have to be something high dollar. Otherwise I wouldn't use it. So I never have. I made the videos with the intention of doing it, but I did not. Old Town Hall Antiques. Has anyone else experienced multi-duplicates of your listings even after you deleted the old listing and put up a new one? She said that her eBay store has had one casserole dish 3 times because like eBay's relisting it.
Yeah, there's consistently some glitches. Sometimes your photos, like I sold this book, I don't know where it's at. I sold this music book the other day, and while I'm digging around for it, I can only find this other music book, and I realized that eBay like somehow transposed the photos on the 2 listings. Like sometimes you come across errors that you didn't do that, like there was no way. And so it is a good idea, no matter how many listings you have, to kind of just do a general audit at times, even if it's just scrolling through your listings. If there's when you're going through items and you think, well, I haven't seen this puzzle in my eBay store in a while, like search your own store and make sure that the item's still listed. Because I mean, golly, to be as old of a platform as they are, they do have a lot of glitches. So it's possible, Old Town, that was an eBay glitch. I'm sorry that happened. I hope it didn't sell more than once.
I think it was breaking up on me. I have had that problem in the past to a great extent. So once a year, normally at the end of the year, I do a complete store audit. I've got a kid that lives near me that he likes to work once a year. Like he doesn't like to work the other 364 days. And so, but he's good at it, and he's slow and he's careful, and he goes through and he tags every item that is in a tub that isn't listed, and then every listing that isn't in the tub. And then I can go back and fix ads and delete them and fix them. But yeah, it's some of them I know it wasn't me. I know it wasn't. So.
No, for me, I've run across that problem, but I want to say it's probably been my error. One time I think I've hit sell similar on the item. Once I was selling 7 the first time, and then when I hit sell similar the second time, I was only selling 1 of them. And then I ended up selling 3, and then by the third one I was out of that inventory, and I believe that was my mistake, because when you hit sell similar, whatever you sold the first time is going to be the same exact listing, and that was just user error. But as far as multiple duplicate listings, I mean, it's probably happened, and I'm just not really coming to mind at the moment.
Yeah, it has definitely happened to me. I would say probably 5 times over the last year. I actually got lucky in 3 of those 5. It was YouTube viewers, and I was like, eBay relisted this. I don't have it. Is there anything else you want? And they were super understanding. And so were the other people. I just tell them like there was a glitch. It got relisted. It sold a long time ago, and offer them anything else in my store if they want something else. So it has definitely happened to me, but it's not frequent. I have 6,100 items. It might be like 1 time every other month that happens. So it's not a lot, but it does happen. Katie are you there? She is there. It's so crazy because I don't know if I have to like just trust she's there. CC sent a $9.99 super chat. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you. Here you go.
Super chat.
Oh, here, I can answer this one. Does anyone know where we comment what masterclass we want on Big Cartel? So for my masterclass, when you check out, there is a comment box. And you can put in there which classes you want if you're buying the 2-class discount or the 4-class discount. Or you can put all August classes, which we already did one. This week is Thursday. It's selling on multiple platforms. Or you can get replays of July classes if you want those, like we did buying in keywords in July. And if by some chance you don't see it and keep going, just email me. Just email me. It's only me. Nobody else does it but me. So I'll just make a note of what classes you want and I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. Sassy Granny Pants. I named her that. She thinks it's funny. I couldn't remember. I'm waiting for her to change it. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Here's your dolphin.
Super chat.
Speaking of her, she is telling Tay to give that baby a kiss from her. Hold on, I'm scrolling. I don't know what happened.
You broke it.
Hold on. Where was I? I don't know if I'll cry when Dalton goes. He went today and I'm like, it's hard because a lot of his words, he doesn't get out like the first part. And like, I know I understand him and I'm like, he might need speech therapy. We've been on the wait list 2 years to get him into speech therapy here since COVID. They're like so backed up. And so the teacher actually, she had a piece of paper and she's like, no, this is what they should be able to pronounce by this age. And I think most of it he's got that was on that list. And his teacher is awesome. She said they don't start it until kindergarten. She said, but I'll go to the speech therapist and I'll get some stuff to work with him and I'll do it with him. That's why he's going to charge school. The class size is small and she seems really, really amazing. I met her today. So I hope I won't. I might. But I'm worried he's going to freak out because he's all excited. And then earlier today, he's like, but I don't want to stay there. And I'm like, uh-oh. So if he has a rough time with it, I will probably have a rough time. If he's good and just goes in, then I should be okay. But if he has a fit, then yeah, we'll probably be crying together. If he cries, I'm done. I'm done. Miss Patty says, if you have 2 eBay stores and cross-post them, do you see the listing twice? I'm not sure what she means.
I don't know why you would ever want to list the same thing on both eBay stores. That's a recipe for disaster. Cross-post to other platforms, but not to eBay to 2 separate stores. And there's no point and purpose in it because your listing's going to pop up. It's going to pop up. But yeah, you would see it twice because to eBay, that's 2 different sellers that have that item for sale. So yes, you will see it twice, but don't do that.
Yeah. What she said.
Yeah, I'm going to go right with it as well. Yeah. All right, Miss Debbie, if you have an item where the paint has been slightly chipped off of it, is it okay to touch it up or do you think we should sell it as is?
I think it depends on what it is. Even sneakers, and I'm like with Angela's paint, I'm still gonna say that these have been like rehabbed or something. If it's a vintage item, people, that's really important that it's original paint. I mean, there's no harm in saying that you touched it up. If you feel like that would hinder a buyer from buying the listing, don't touch it up. Depending on the age of the item, you might not be the best person to restore that. So again, it largely depends on the item.
Yeah, I agree completely. Especially, it depends upon what it is. Some items you better not touch it. I guess when I read this, I was thinking of painting, and I was like, absolutely not. Like, so
just redid that for
Don't
you.
go painting the painting.
Yeah, don't touch it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch it. I also don't like polished jewelry and stuff. We were talking about this on my Facebook Death Pile Destruction group because a lot of buyers want to restore that themselves, and they probably have more knowledge about it than you do. And some people like the vintage chipped off paint look. So I'm gonna leave it as is. I'm not gonna mess with it. I believe this is Wendy. Do you insure your inventory, and if so, how?
Thanks for giving me another thing to worry about, Wendy. Apparently, I need to talk to my home insurance. Yeah, my stuff currently doesn't have anything more than my personal property value of my homeowner's insurance policy, but maybe I should look into it. What do you do, Scott?
There was a joke I heard a long time ago about this guy when he was a bachelor. He threw a party and his friends trashed all of his stuff and he was out like $15. So like if all of my stuff got ruined, I didn't pay much for it. So I'm probably going to be okay anyway. That said, I do have a rider through my homeowner's insurance. And it's a certain percentage of my house it was super easy to add. And my inventory list with at least with the people that I'm with is my eBay listings. So if I had a fire or something like that, I would have some level of insurance.
Yeah, I don't personally have insurance for my inventory. Maybe that's something I should look into because it sounds like that's a smart idea. But as of right now, no, because I feel like Scott, for the most part, like even though I do have a lot of inventory, if it all went up in smoke, I started with $30. So at the end of the day, I would only be losing $30.
Yeah, so I do have insurance on my inventory through a business policy, and I got that when I went full time. I have over $200,000 listed in my eBay store, so that's a lot, and I have coverage too. So I have my inventory insured up to I think 70,000 because I could probably replace this stuff for 20,000 pretty easy. So to get the premium down, I just covered it for 70,000, so like 1/3, and I typically buy it 10%. And they also, like, if we get a hurricane, let me knock on wood. Me and Brad were talking yesterday that Dalton hasn't been through a hurricane. Like Florida hasn't been hit in a long time by a bad one. So if we were to get hit by a hurricane, then they will also give me the income that I usually make. So like the last 2 months I made 15,000. So my insurance company would look at that and they would pay me 15,000 until I was able to get back up and running if I had damage to my inventory of my business. So I believe it's about $260 a month for me. And I just felt when that's my only income, that's my main income, that it was worth it. My homeowners wouldn't allow me to add it on. So I did have to get a separate business policy. And like I file as an S Corp and I have employees. So I also got a work comp policy as well because people are working for me. So with my mess, if something falls on their head, I don't know. They would be protected. So I just call, but it's the same agent that does my homeowners as well. I was good. And then, hold on.
I think she caught COVID from somebody in the chat.
I feel like I need to look into this though. Yeah. Drew has like insurance for his business. So maybe I could jump on his policy or something.
I know, right? And shout out to
no
somebody in this chat.
in here. Oh my gosh.
I guarantee somebody in this chat just followed me, and I want to say thank you because you just gave me 15K.
Oh, I was gonna put this up too. I swallowed wrong, and I can't catch my voice, and I have no drink out here tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, appreciate that.
I wish I had a confetti popper or something.
I don't have nothing. Yay! She said she's shipping.
I got something for after the show. It's okay.
Thank you so much. Here is my eyes are watering. Listen. Okay. Here's your dolphin.
Super chat.
Oh my good. Tay, why you gotta drink a drink when I don't got a drink and I'm choking? Where did this go? Oh, yeah. So Val said this, guys. If you have not seen it yet, Tay is on A&E's 60 Day In. When's the premiere, Tay?
It premieres August 18th, exclusively on A&E.
Nice.
So Tay is going to be on the TV show 60 Days In. He's already done all the recording, so make sure you tune in to A&E. I told Tay he's so famous, so I'm glad he's still here hanging out with us because he's cool like that.
Yeah, I refuse to hear that word.
What do I ship my handkerchiefs in? I ship them in this, a little 5x9 poly. If it's going international, I will double poly it. If it's staying in the States, I don't double poly it. Look, everybody's talking about where and when. Mom, hold on, I'm scrolling. Whoop, whoop.
I'm excited.
Michelle
I'm
Martin.
going live tonight. I'm not even gonna lie.
Andy hit his sub mark. Look at him. You going live tonight?
Oh yeah.
So if you create it, then you could share it before everybody leaves and they can run over there. So that'll work. So you can multitask. Michelle Martin says about a third of my sales are international from Australia. I love them. Do you sell international? If you don't, why? If you use the eBay program, it is way too high and I won't buy. Please don't. So she's saying global shipping is too expensive. So if you sell international, how do you sell international? And if you don't, why not?
I sell international through GSP. I sell a lot to Australia, but not a third. I'm kind of interested in what in the world Michelle is selling that. I mean, they are just a large island, and I mean, they are dependent on international shipping, you know, for a lot of the items. But gosh, I'm like interested to know, Michelle, what is it that you sell so much of to Australia? I use GSP. There's no reason anyone in this chat shouldn't be using GSP. You just got to ship it to Kentucky.
Yeah, GSP is super easy. So I do sell internationally. I occasionally will ship through the standard international, especially for people in Canada. They get hit the hardest, but on 99% of mine is through GSP.
I strictly use whatever eBay tells me to use. I do use the eBay program too. The way I look at it, I usually make the buyers pay the shipping, unfortunately, and I just figure if it's too much for them, they won't buy the item, because I just can't take those costs either, because it's expensive.
Yeah, I use Standard International, which is not cheap. That is one of eBay's programs. That one is the cheaper of the two. So if I have less than $50 into the item, I ship via Standard International, which is like under a pound. It's only up to $13 international. And then I also do GSP if it's higher dollar. And if it's higher dollar, I want the protection. And most of the time the buyers will pay. That's like a lot of my high dollar teacups go overseas. So they're like $500 or $600. So I want that extra protection. I've been shipping a lot to Australia, and a couple to my Australia viewers, which is so cool. So if you're my Australia people and you bought stuff, thank you. I think that's so cool. I'm like, look, we're shipping to people in Australia that are viewers. I think that is so amazing. I think I had 2 in the last month that went out to viewers in Australia, which I think is super cool. All right. EGV collectibles. For those who cross post, do you set the price different on each platform? I just started, but it seems I will have to rise prices on Poshmark and Etsy where the fees are higher.
More than the fees being higher, I personally, on some items, I'll raise the fee or price a little bit over on Poshmark because you don't get as many full price sales. Everyone wants a deal, so they'll like your item and wait for you to make them an offer, or they'll make you an offer. Poshmark is very much like an offer system. So you may consider raising your price there. And if it's an item, since I sell designer goods, if it's an item that will sell better on Poshmark for a higher price, because that's more of their niche is like designer items, then I could list it higher over there or maybe not even list it on eBay because I know I'm going to get more on Poshmark.
I kind of do the opposite. Most of my items, I have such a return on investment anyway that the few dollars difference isn't really going to have a big impact on me. She's 100% correct about the low ballers on Poshmark. You will get offers no matter what. You'll never get offers hardly ever on Etsy. But for me, I just list them and I don't have to take it if I don't like it.
As a non-Poshmark and or Etsy seller, I can't answer this question.
So for me, Poshmark fees are higher. Etsy fees are lower, but I price higher on Etsy because it's a different population. So I price 30% higher on Etsy because that audience is different. And I don't price higher on Poshmark. I could, but I don't want to make it complicated for my mom who does all my cross posting. So we just raise prices for Etsy, but I buy at 10% and I figure 20% for fees even on eBay because of my promoting. So it comes close to 20%, which is Poshmark fee a lot. But I don't feel like I wouldn't let the fees necessarily set your prices. You need to know what those items are selling for there because the buyer doesn't care what the fees are. You need to know what you can get for that item regardless of what the fees are, and make sure you buy low enough to, you know, accommodate for the 20% or so in fees. Is this you, Kathleen? This is Listen, Kathleen is one of my mods in the Death Pile Destruction group. Thank you, Kathleen. She helps a lot over in Death Pile Destruction with us. All my mods. And if you're not part of my Death Pile Destruction group on Facebook, definitely check it out. We have over 10,000 members in our Facebook group. And it's moral support, guys. It's hard not to buy when you have a death pile. It's all about moral support and people that understand the mentality of having all this stuff and still wanting to buy. So it is a great place. So Miss Kathleen, thank you so much. Here is your dolphin.
Super chat.
Wait, maybe that wasn't her. Hold on. Don't know what's going on. Sorry, vintage chick, if you're not Kathleen. Kathleen's trying to figure out how. She said she sent it, but me and Katie don't see it. We're having technical difficulties. Angie Resells, thank you so much. She said, look at the panel. Truly some of our absolute favorite people.
Hi, Angie.
Thank you, Miss Angie. We appreciate you, my friend. Paul is saying he has quarantine because of COVID Omicron and his warehouse is all off-site, not at home. Should he put his store on vacation or just change handling time? So what would you guys do?
I mean, you'll get more sales if you just change your handling time, but then buyers are always going to be hoping that you're going to ship way before that, and they're probably not going to see your handling time, but then they're also not going to see your daggone vacation notice. You know, it's 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other here. Vacation mode, that's what I'm going to go with, because you at least have an anticipated date that you'll be back, so why not just let everyone know your stuff's not shipping until then? Most of them will read that notification.
I agree. For the only thing I would add is it depends upon how you're feeling. Like if it's going to create a real stress for you to have the store still open, then I would change that. But other than that, you could make it a little easier if you send them a note and say, hey, I'll be shipping on such and such a date. But depends upon whether or not you want that hanging over you.
I concur with what the lovely human beings below me have said so far. Vacation mode, just go ahead and put it on vacation mode. Forget handling time. They really don't care about that. And then when they come to your item anyway and they see vacation mode, and they clearly say, hey, this seller ain't coming back until this date now. So they'll know. So just vacation.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Like if they're telling you like a 2-week quarantine or whatever, just set it. You could do time away too, though, for up to 2 weeks and still accept orders. So like if they've told you a time, you might want to do that as well. Do I see Troy? Yeah. I do see Troy. It's so, listen, the picture I see is like this big and I like am so happy I'm like, I know whose picture that is. Troy over at Mountain Man Treasures, which will be on with us next week with Mike Golden State Picker, who commented earlier, said he just sold an ironwood carved Native American figure for $60 plus shipping. He paid $1 because he knew I would have liked it. Here's my cut. That's my cut. Look, I have one. This one I think is possessed. he keeps jumping off the shelf, and I'm not kidding you. Like, nothing shakes in here, and this dang thing keeps coming from the shelf down to my desk to sit by me. So now I just leave him down. He did it 4 times. Nothing's moving in here, and boom, down he comes. So he lives on the desk now because that's where he wants to live. I'm not putting him back up on the shelf anymore. I have a whole shelf of them, Rachel. I have 2, 4, 6. I have 9 of them up there. He was the 10th, but he wants to live on the desk, so he's going to live on the desk. Troy, thank you so much. I look forward to having you on next week. Here is your dog.
Super chat.
All right. Oh, I see Australian dollars too. Kathleen said she's been. Oh, okay. So listen, Katie put that up there. Katie put that up there because Katie's the one that made my inspirational bubbles. Katie made my little things that I'm sharing out with like my statement. Katie's been putting them together for me. And I found there's a schedule thing. I don't even think I've told Katie, so I can schedule it to go out on Facebook and Instagram. And I did it for like 3 days this week. So I'm going to try and get better at that. I'm hoping I can schedule it out so I drop like some little motivation or tip like almost every day. So Kathleen said she did her first coupon and sent it out to previous customers because of Katie's suggestion. So do any of us use coupons?
I did my first coupon a couple weeks ago, and a buyer had to cancel an item and then rebuy it. And daggum, if she didn't use that coupon and buy it for free, she rebought it for like $2.50 cheaper. So my first coupon burned me already, but I'll keep using them. I'll let you guys know how it goes.
I haven't used them, but I don't really have. I just don't have a good reason. I just haven't.
I'm too cheap. So yeah, any discounts I want to give them, I'll just give it to eBay in the promoted listing.
I haven't tried it. I just have so much going on. I want to though, since Katie was talking about that. I do want to try it, but I have not tried it yet. All right, now we do. She is from Australia, Michelle. Michelle is asking us as the buyer from across the pond to not do global shipping. Yeah, standard. The only problem is if it's like a $400, $500, $600 item, that we have no protection, and if they lose it or it breaks,
right,
it's scary. So, all right, thank you. I have a lot of Australian viewers, and I think that is so cool. So, Michelle, thank you so much for the super chat, and thanks for watching. All my Australian people, I appreciate you guys.
Super chat.
People are glad Scott's taking a long time. It makes them feel better. Guys, just look at the time spent into the money you're making. That's my suggestion. Don't spend 15 minutes on a $10 item.
Yeah.
You know, that's the big thing. That's the big thing. Scott does a lot of really high dollar stuff and a lot of rare vintage stuff. If you're making $300, spend $2 on the listing. Like Tam would say, you know, whatever, you know, take the time, but make it in line with the cost of it. Miss Jennifer says, what are your thoughts on completely packaging each item once prepped, photographed, and listed? She's trying to figure out how to best organize items.
There's not a chance I would have the storage for that because, you know, you want 2 inches all the way around every item that's breakable. I mean, that's a minimum is 2. And I think USPS even raised that. So say 3 to 4 inches around every item. I've got 1,500 items in this room. I don't have boxes, you know, I don't have enough boxes and I don't have space for the boxes. So I group like items together. Like I'll have one bin or box with glass items in one box. It has all my wooden items and metal items. And I personally organize by category like that. I don't do SKUs or anything like that. All of my zippers are together. All of my jewelry is in one bin. That way I know exactly where it's at. I don't even have to consult like a custom label or anything like that. But no, There is one thing that I went ahead and boxed. It was a Lincoln log set. And it was because that had to be that it was going to take up that amount of space regardless. And I already had the regional rate box. And I was like, I better just put this in here. And I wrote on it Lincoln Logs. So I hope when they sell, I remember that they're already in a box because that's another thing. If you had all of your items already prepackaged, can you imagine you're going to have to read every label? It's not really scalable that way. I think in the long run, when one day you'll have 2,000 listings and you probably wouldn't want your inventory organized that way.
Yeah, I'm the same thing. Unless there's the rare item that I really need to do that with. Other than that, my stuff is over there. I put it in bins, and in my SKU, I put that it's in like B1, and then I go pull it out of there.
I just go back to me being cheap. If I package every single item after that I already had it prepped, that means that's the expectation that every single item is going to sell 100%. And the sad truth is every single one of your items is not going to sell. So I don't want to have items that's packed and will never sell. So I want to make sure after it sells, then I'll pack it just to save on shipping, because it just makes a little bit more sense to me.
Plus, you'll get a question as soon as it's packed up.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, can you send me a picture of this?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have 6,100 items, guys. Could you imagine the amount of space that 6,100 items would take up box? So for me, I do SKUs. I pack stuff inside of, it will be a bowl inside of another bowl, and then there's a small trinket inside of it. I got to maximize my space as far as what room I have, so I could. There's no way I could box stuff. It would never fit. It would never fit. I stack my glass though. I stack.
Hello.
Kat, your service is cutting out a bit.
Okay, I thought I was going cry. I was like,
no, she seems to be a little bit spotty tonight.
Okay, I thought it might have been me. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Kat has been doing this show for 400 years, so please make sure that we please smash that like button. She's probably the most consistent person doing these shows, so if you haven't hit that like button yet, please go ahead and smash that like button, because I know sometimes we forget.
I'm going to switch my internet. I haven't switched it yet, but it keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. Cheryl is asking, do you ever have FOMO in sourcing? I left a couple things at Goodwill I wish I'd picked up, especially after I comped them out.
Did you wait until you got home to comp them, Cheryl? Because don't do that. If you've already left it and you know it's probably going to be gone, don't do that to yourself. Don't comp it out so that you lose sleep. You know what? I'm going to reference something Scott said earlier. There's so many things out there and the buy cost is so low that you'll find something else. Don't live in that moment of what you missed out on, okay? Go look for the next best thing. And I promise you're going to find something awesome. Just think maybe some other reseller that just made their day and they found it. Is that bad?
Can't have FOMO if you bought it all, so I'm just going to buy everything I see.
So honest answer here. Of course, I have FOMO. I mean, it's not a bad FOMO though, where I'm like, just oh my god. I just like the other day, just small example. The other day, I was in the thrift store. I was standing in one section because again, my OCD, and I was focused on a bunch of stuff in one area. There was an Xbox Guitar Hero right next to me. It's been there for 5 minutes. Dude comes around the corner and grabs the Guitar Hero and he starts talking to me. I'm oh my god, it was literally right there. All I had to do was turn my head. I can't get mad at nobody but me, but that's not like I was mad that he got it. It was just I was mad at myself because I was there and could have gotten it. So I guess it's not really FOMO because I'm so happy for other resellers when they find great items. That just lets me know that they're still out there. So that's the best thing.
That's my 20-year-old that you never see. Look at the camera.
You saved her. She needed a drink so bad.
I know. I was like, please bring me a drink. I told her, I'm coughing. Can't stop coughing. So Brooke brought me a drink. You guys never see her. That is my 20-year-old that helps me list. She's out of here as fast as she came in. But yeah. Hold on. I'm scrolling.
Carla, real quick, Carla said, what's FOMO? It's fear of missing out, Carla.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I got distracted by Brooke. Did everybody answer but me?
Mhm.
Whoops. Okay. The hard thing as a content creator is like people watch my thrifting videos or my estate sale and they'll be like, did you see this? And I'm like, nope, I didn't see it. But at that point, it's probably like weeks later, so the item's not still there. I agree with Rachel. Check it at the store in the parking lot. Like if I think I should get it, I'm gonna check it then. I'm not gonna wait. Am I freezing again?
No, you're fine.
No, you're good.
You're good.
You're good.
You're perfect.
Okay, well maybe you're not. Maybe you maybe you froze as you said that.
Future
was
pros.
good.
The internet is trying me tonight.
You were
I don't
better
even know. What
before.
did y'all hear? What did y'all hear?
You were perfect until you clicked your mouse and did something. We
Yeah.
could hear you just fine.
I put it on my phone internet. So sometimes yes. Michelle wants to know, I'm assuming this is for me. Do you sell your wholesale lots to international sellers? If I join High Bid Lives, could you send to me in Australia? So I'm using a new site for my wholesale lots. I haven't really announced it yet. I'm still kind of working with them. But I think I gave Marsha and Mark the link to you guys. I have 4 jewelry lots up now. That site does not ship international, but if it's a lot on my big cartel site, I do ship international for those. And the cool thing is there are high bid auctions in Australia, so I could source for you for ones in Australia. We did that for one person internationally that had a shipper, and we searched for somebody in Canada. So yeah, high bid has auctions. So if you join my $9.99 membership, we can 100% source for you in Australia. It's super cool. I found stuff on high bid lots in Australia that I wanted. So I know there's good stuff on them because I'm like, man, is that worth it with international shipping? So the answer to that is yes, absolutely. And it's so fun. Raining Retro, North Carolina. Now that long items are penalized at USPS, how would you ship something like an old school umbrella?
They're not penalized as severely as the reselling community made it sound. Up to like, I hope I get these numbers right, up to 22 or 24 inches, it's only an extra $4. It's not until like 32 inches, and I really hope I'm remembering this, that it's the $12 or whatever. Like I shipped something recently and I was really concerned because like YouTube just made it sound like it was going to be astronomical. It was literally another $4. So an old school umbrella, I still buy those. I still sell them. If it is over the 32 inches, then go again, UPS or FedEx, whichever is cheaper.
That's mine. If it's up to 22, it's still not bad. Over that, I go UPS.
Yeah, I'm about to say I still regularly ship bats out all the time, and yeah, it's not bad at all. I even ship skis, and I mean that's when it does get a little bit pricey, but again, for the profit margins, it's still worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, some stuff I've been surprised that USPS isn't much, so I'll still use USPS. But other stuff, I will compare it because when you're shipping out on eBay, you can drop that down and see like what USPS's cost, what FedEx's cost, and you can kind of compare and see which one is cheaper. Rachel Blake, I am new to reselling. Does everyone else pack the item and get the weight and dimensions before listing? It's definitely not a dumb question. That's kind of what we just went over. But what I suggest if you're new is put the item with a box on top, like a flat box on the scale, and put like a few pieces of paper or bubble wrap or whatever you use. That way you can get the weight. I don't suggest packing it up because you could have combined orders. People can ask you questions and it would just be a little, it would be too difficult in the long run. It might work okay when you don't have many items, but I think if you're planning on building it up, you would end up regretting it. So here is your dolphin, Miss Rachel. Thank you for the super chat. I greatly appreciate it.
Super chat.
All right. Shani, this is kind of one of those questions where it's hard for us to answer. We can kind of give you our input on it, but it's going to depend on what kind of item. But Shani saying, how long do you think on average does it take to get decent traffic to your store?
Yeah, I mean, if you're selling Lululemon for $1 immediately, if you're selling new pencils for $10, it's going to take a while. So it does depend on the quality and the quantity of your items and your price where you're at. But I'm going to say that I've seen it be a general consensus amongst most resellers that regular sales after 500 listings. I see a lot of people saying that, and that held true for me. After I got over 500 listings, I started getting regular sales that I could depend on.
Yeah, I agree with that. If you had something that's just crazy coveted, you could have one item, but as far as consistent sales where your thing is going off just about every single day, for me it was at 400 or 500 items too.
I agree. If you're paying attention to the sold comps and checking your sell-through rates and everything like that, you should be making nice, consistent sales. But if you're just buying stuff and having things for the long haul, like a lot of vintage items, they may take a while. So it just all depends on the items that you're sourcing.
Yeah, and some people like Chris, who was one of my first two co-hosts, he has like 150 listed and like 600 sold because he's super picky. He only gets stuff with a high sell-through rate. So if you're getting really good stuff like that, then you could see traffic immediately if you're getting popular stuff. But I agree with Rachel. I think 500 is kind of a good round number if you're doing a mix of like fast selling and slower. I think 500, most people do start seeing the regular sales. All right, backpack baby. When you get an order over the weekend, when do you pack it and print the label?
Monday. Sunday night, because I do like to do my shipping the night before, but everything goes out on Monday.
Yeah. If it sells, I ship on Saturdays. As long as I get the order before, say, 9 o'clock in the morning. Other than that, I do it Sunday night for Monday morning.
Monday. Usually it depends on either it's late Sunday night or Monday morning.
I do on Monday. I always do my what sold videos on Monday. We just started this Monday. I'm pulling earlier in the morning because we're trying to get on Dalton's school schedule, which means I need everything packed by like 1:30, 1:45 to go pick them up from school. So I used to pull it like noon and then we would pack it 2 to 4 and have it at the post office. But now I'm going to start pulling it like 8 o'clock on Monday morning and then we'll pack it up. And I do it because I want to have as many sales as I can for my video. I'm not going to lie. So I wait till like the last so that I can show everything as much as possible on my what sold video for Monday nights. Is that another one?
Our post office closes at 11. So
11 in the morning?
Yes.
On Mondays?
Every day except Saturday. It closes at 9.
Our mail goes out at
I would have to
11:30
move.
and it only goes out once a day. I'm with you there.
I would have to move.
No.
I mean, I'm in a little town and they stay open till 5.
You are
at
not
least.
in a little town.
I mean, not as little as you, but I mean, it's a smaller town. Michelle Martin sent another $5. Another $5 super. Can you email me about high bid in Australia? So email me and I'll explain to you how it works. Because what I do is I source for you by your zip code and you would go pick it up. So we would look for stuff in Australia close to you and you would drive and go pick it up. So it wouldn't need to get sent to you. But she's offering to send it to me. I don't need any more stuff. I'm good. Like, do you see all that? It's everywhere in here right now. And I even forgot stuff. I didn't forget stuff. I sent Brooke, my daughter, you guys just saw. I sent her to pick up the 70 lots I bought yesterday. She's like, this is a lot of work. I'm hot. I'm like, I know it's a lot of work. But she wanted to do it because she wanted extra on her paycheck. She wanted extra on her paycheck. So I'm like, it's not like, if you want to get paid, you got to work. So here is another dolphin for you, Michelle. You can email me, but I need to behave and not get it. But if you want me to find you stuff, I will. And my email is thenurseflipper@yahoo.com. There's your dolphin. Tay, what are you doing? What's going on over there?
The dolphin.
Okay, here we go.
Super chat.
Next time I'm going to make Tay big so he can do his little dolphin dance and he can make the sounds. That's the plan. Berkshire Pickers over on Facebook. So thank you to all of you watching us from Facebook as well. We are dual streaming to Facebook and YouTube. Did your sales slow down in June and July?
Yeah, because my listing slowed down. I just wasn't really consistent. I was driving around with the top off the Bronco, so my own fault.
Yeah, 100%. My sales slowed down when I started YouTube.
Yeah, there you go.
Because of the time that takes. But if I list, I sell stuff.
I was in jail, so yes.
I bet you sold nothing.
Actually, you'll be surprised. I did have some sales. Somebody shipped out a few items. I was on vacation mode, but I mean, that's all.
Cha-ching go off in your cell.
I know, right? I had to hide the
Hey guys,
phone.
I gotta check this.
What was that?
I was trying to list the guard's handcuffs, vintage handcuffs. I'm trying to list everything. Let me get that spray.
I had an increase. I actually had a $5,000 increase in June and July. My sales went up. They did not go down. But my listing also went up. So it directly is correlated for sure. ECG. I sell vintage decor, art, and some clothes. I've been thinking to move my inventory to the garage, but I'm not sure if the heat might damage my items. What do you think?
They're vintage. They're irreplaceable. I sell mostly vintage. If you think the heat may damage it, the heat is going to damage it. Don't do it. No.
Yeah, especially if you've already listed it and then you store it somewhere that it could get damaged. That's just asking for trouble. So no.
Yeah, I learned that on the Nicolas Cage movie when he was looking for the map, the lost treasure. Like you have to keep all vintage items preserved. So yeah, most definitely you got to keep that thing in AC.
Yeah, I would say not only the heat, but depending on where you are, you might need to worry about the humidity. So I wouldn't move it to the garage unless you're going to put an air conditioner and a dehumidifier in there. That's just like having these sheds outdoors. They really need to be climate controlled, or you might not save your inventory, unfortunately. So if you have room in the house and you're worried about it, I wouldn't move it. I would not move it. I'm scrolling. Have you ever been told, this is Happy Feet Harrison, if it is more than 90 days, they can't remove it? I don't know what she means.
Yes, feedback, most definitely. If it's been more than 90 days and you haven't gotten your feedback removed, yeah.
I think it's actually 30 days. I think it's less than that. If you don't appeal a negative within 30 days, I don't think you can fight it. I think it's 30 days.
I've never waited, but that's a very cool name. The Happy Feet Harrison.
Just dancing.
Am I like at least freezing in halfway decent position? Like I'm just like seeing black circles swirling.
You're only a little Minecrafty.
Tammy Buyer said, I sold a hat. When the customer that received it, USPS destroyed the box. Hat was damaged. He wasn't asking for a refund, but is disappointed, but he wants to keep the hat. Should I do a partial refund?
Did they ask for a partial refund? Tay's making me feel bad about my answer right now. Because I'm just like, did they ask you for money back? Because, I mean, if they're just, I don't know, how damaged was the hat? They still like it.
So I'm just like more customer service for. I'm sorry.
Unlike Miss Greedy Britches next to me here.
That's Rachel's new name.
No, what I would want to know is if I read that customer's feedback and this is like a thing they do. If you see lots of seller made it right, that kind of stuff, then maybe not. It's really going to depend upon the individual circumstances. But if you shipped it first class, it is not insured. You're the one who is insuring it. And so if it's damaged in shipping, that's actually your responsibility to take care of it.
And
I'm going to accept it.
Can't see. I can't see it.
She got an offer for $77 for a Buick.
Something.
Oh yeah, I would take it. Let me get $1 when you're done too. But yeah, I would most definitely. So I'm all about customer service and preventing as many negative feedbacks as I possibly can get. So if the customer messaged you immediately, they might be warning you like, yo, I'm letting you know this because I might give you negative feedback. So I would just put it out there like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm very sorry. I will offer to give you yada, yada, yada. They may not take it because some people be like, no, I just want to inform you because they want to let you know like your shipping habits may need improvement. So some people are really just like that. So I would at least offer it just for the customer service perspective. Now, in the beginning, I used to be like, F everybody. I'm not giving you nothing back. You're not getting no refund. You're not, I'm dead serious. Like I used to deny all returns, but I've learned over time that these small profits that people complain about, that to us, we're only buying these items for $4 and $5. Yes, they might have sold for $100, but we're not losing that $100. We're really only losing that $5 that we purchased the item for. So that's the key thing that we got to think about. Like, so is your customer service and having that good positive feedback, is it worth giving them a partial refund? So that's what you have to think about in the long run.
So for me, it would depend on how they came at me. If they were rude and nasty, I ain't giving you nothing unless you send it back. If they were nice, then yeah, I would probably give them a partial. Most hats are going to ship first class, so you don't have insurance on them. But if they were nice to me, I probably would offer a partial. If they were nasty to me, they're not getting nothing and I'm blocking them. They're never buying from me again, even though it's not their fault. If they come at me and are rude and nasty, then I don't tolerate that very well regardless. Like, you can be nice and cordial and still upset. You know, you don't have to be nasty to people. Kiwi says, what happens on eBay if you sell something and they claim it was stolen and it wasn't? So if you have an item that's delivered and somebody says their neighbor took it out of their mailbox, what are you going to do?
Yeah, so since you're not on the neighborhood watch or work for USPS, your responsibility is to ensure that that item is delivered. Period. Y'all don't make me feel bad on this one too. I swear, if you guys are like, I would drive to their house and hand deliver a new one and give them 5 times refund, then no, your responsibility is to show that it was delivered. You're not the porch pirate police, so.
No, I would take care of the customer.
Shut up.
The best thing about this panel is that Rachel has gone before me every single time, so I don't ever get roasted by her.
Okay, next time I know who's in the hot seat. Now I know who's in the hot seat.
The reality of it is that it really is out of your control. So here, I actually have something pretty standard that I tell people. I tell them first they need to check with the person that their carrier, because in order for it to be marked delivered, they physically had to scan it, which means it was there. And then the second thing I do is I will tell them, I will ask at my post office, but they will probably not tell me anything. And other than that, it's not up to me to refund them money or anything, because half of those people are trying to get something for free, and the other half, it's completely out of my control.
And for Jesus loves me, this I know, and the Bible tells me so. I'm going to make sure that I drop ship the item to. No, I'm just kidding.
Give her Rachel's email.
As long as that item says delivered, they are dead to me. Like, we really don't have no more conversation.
Thank you.
After the item is delivered. Now, you will have that rare case where you have lazy postal workers and they don't actually scan the item and it lands on the porch, and the item will never say delivered. And that is a thing that I had to go deal with once before, when I ain't gonna say I know, because we never know, but I know the person got that item. I know they got the item, but it just never said delivered, because they said something about it 4 months later. Like, why would you say something 4 months late? And then there was no delivery on there, but I had to end up giving them money back anyway. But for the most part, if it says delivery, they did. They ain't getting nothing.
I'm going to agree with everybody else. If it's delivered, I'm done. I will tell them to wait a day or two, because some postal workers will scan it and have not dropped it off yet. And then they'll message me 2 days later, oh, it came today. So I do tell them that, just FYI. But yeah, Michelle, you're sending me all the Australian dollars tonight. Thank you. Thank you so much. Nice all the way. That's listen, I try. I can be a little spiteful. I'm not going to lie. I think if people watch me long enough, they know I can get ticked off. I can get heated about some certain subject, but I try to stay positive. I try my hardest. So I'm going to give you another. Oh, wait, Tay's going to do it. I'm going to make Tay big. Tay be a dolphin.
Oh, now? Is it now?
Yeah.
How are they doing?
That was a special super chat. We should have recorded that. That sounded more like a rooster, I think, Tay. That didn't sound
Dog. Yeah.
I don't know.
that was a special prison to profit dolphin.
Very nice.
Where did it go? If an item is promoted, how can it sell as non-promoted?
The buyer didn't click on it as a promoted listing. You only get charged if the buyer clicks on the ad, like the promoted listing. You don't get charged if they just click on it in the regular search.
Right.
Yeah, so it's there twice.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Scott. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say the same thing. I don't think Mama D quite knew how it works. So if you do promoted listings, it bumps it up, but there's also the natural way that they could have found it. And if they find it through the regular measures and it wasn't under a sponsored listing, eBay keeps track of that, and you get charged if it sold as a sponsored listing or promoted. Yeah.
And just because I'm OCD again, Ken, I like to give an example. So let's just say if Rachel lived in South Carolina and Scott lived in California, I lived in North Carolina. They're going to show me Rachel's item before they show me Scott's item, but I can scroll through and find Rachel's item just by scrolling through. Maybe Scott had his promoted, but I can just skip his just because I want a cheaper price. Promoted listings.
Yeah, I agree with everybody. Terry wants to know if any of us think eBay is in trouble.
No,
This
no,
is
they
so
probably.
hot for me.
I mean, they probably could have been a few times in trouble, especially sending pig heads to people and stuff. But
Yes.
I don't think that's the type of trouble we're talking about. Listen, no, and they're huge. They're a monster. They're not ever going anywhere. They'll screw up 100 things, but they're not going anywhere. I think you got to be on eBay or Amazon, one or the other. And I enjoy selling on there, even though there's lots of things that go wrong. No, I do not think that they're in any type of financial trouble, if that's what you're saying. I think that new Vault program is kind of weird, though, but I don't think it'll stick around. I don't think they're in trouble.
I don't think that it's so much that they're in trouble as it is you need to be aware that there are other platforms. If there's been a lot of big corporations over time, like at one point IBM controlled the entire computer market, and they were too big to have to adjust, and it killed them. And same way with Ma Bell. eBay was in this market by themselves for a long time, but are they in trouble? It's still by far the largest reseller platform outside of Amazon, and Amazon for someone like me doesn't really work. So not in trouble. As a seller, I will not go down if that ship sinks, but it's not sinking.
Yeah, so I'm always talking junk when people. So no, eBay is definitely not in trouble. I don't think eBay will ever be in trouble, if I'm just being completely honest. They do try to step up with the times sometimes. Like the most people who complain about eBay, if we keep it 100, the sellers. Like we're the ones who's always complaining about eBay. Buyers really don't complain about eBay.
It's true.
It's just mainly the sellers, and eBay don't care because they know people are going to continue to sell on eBay regardless of how much some of the sellers complain about it. When it comes to all these other platforms, they're trying to beat eBay at the end of the day, and it's hard to take over something that's just been there just so long. Like eBay really do provide good customer service for the most part for buyers, and that's like a key thing is buyers, and when it comes to like used vintage things, everybody thinks eBay. I mean, Mercari's been out for a few years now, Poshmark. Some people don't even know what Poshmark, Mercari, whatnot, or none of these other platforms are, but they still know what eBay is. So yeah, I don't think eBay is in trouble at all.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And I think the people that say, like eBay's going down. I'm not getting sales. I think they need to look at themselves and what they're doing or what they're not doing and quit trying to blame everybody else except for themselves. Like if your stuff's not selling, either find different stuff, list more. You need to change something, and blaming other people or eBay for that is just an excuse. It's just an excuse, and you're not going to get anywhere by placing that blame. And I've heard eBay's dying for 5 years. Guess what? I'm going to sell over $200 this year. I don't think it's dying. And when I see that, I'm like, you're placing the blame somewhere that it doesn't need to be. You need to either, maybe the customers have changed. Maybe what you used to sell isn't selling anymore. Maybe you're not listing as much. Like, placing the blame there is not, like, I don't agree with it. I don't think it's going anywhere. I agree with Scott, though. If that ship goes down, I'm going to jump off of it. I'll sure as heck find somewhere else to sell. But I don't think that ship is sinking. I don't think it's sinking at all. And I think the people that say it is need to take a look at themselves, not eBay.
Facebook Marketplace was supposed to take over eBay last year. Remember all the videos?
Oh, yeah.
Talking about
They
Facebook
kicked me out.
Marketplace is the new, and it's about to be.
I was kicked off that ship. I was made to walk the plank. So if that ship goes down, I really don't care. Tim McKinn said a $5 super chat. With eBay always doing money grabs, it makes one wonder how much longer until a leaker staff says eBay charged for promoted, even though it didn't sell via an ad. So again, this to me sounds like it's negative. I don't care. I don't care if they tell me they all sell promoted. I don't care, because I only buy it 10%. So if I promote and it puts my fees to 20%, I'm still making a lot of money. So if it, like, and Poshmark charges 20%. So it's still, even promoting high doesn't come equal to Poshmark fees. And that link, the crappy thing is once they click that link for 30 days, if they buy your item for 30 days after they have clicked the promoted link, you're getting charged a promoted fee. So they might not have clicked on it when they bought it, but they clicked on it in the last 30 days. So I don't care. I think if everything sold promoted, I would still be okay, because I plan on that fee. So if it doesn't sell promoted, then it's just a kind of a benefit for me. All right, Tim, here is your dolphin.
Super chat.
My coughing came back. I was ranting. Listen. Stop ranting, cat. Hold on, I'm scrolling. I was gonna say screening. I guess it's kind of screening. I'm looking for questions. She's back. Katie, she's back. Where'd she go? There she is, Rachel Blake. Is the white background? Thank you, Rachel. I'm glad you're back. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Is the white background the best for listing pictures? I've looked at sold items and the background varies. Does it really matter? She would like Tay to do her dolphin sound.
Nice.
Are we okay? Tay, do the dolphin first, and then we'll answer. Here's Tay. Tay for your special dolphin, Rachel. Oh my god! No, I don't want to be big. Hey, you're making me click the wrong button.
That was a seal that time.
Oh yeah, they do that. It was.
So first of all, Rachel said that she's new to reselling. So Rachel, we're all wishing you like the very best of luck. I hope that if your goal is to quit your job, that you're able to in record time. A white background is really good for a couple different reasons. Supposedly Google picks it up better. So if I search, vintage brass lamp on Google, and Google is going to show the ones with the white background first, and then also like when I was very new to reselling, I got into the Poshmark game of like styling photos, and it can get really confusing what exactly is for sale. If you have a shirt for sale, but then there's also pants and there's like a plant over here and there's just a lot going on. So sometimes people may look right past your listing. So when you're taking your pictures, Rachel, use your camera on 1x1, like a square, because that's going to show best on eBay. If you have an Android, click Pro mode, and then your pictures, like the white balance is going to be better, and go with a white background, in my opinion, because you just square that up perfectly and your images are going to pop. They're going to look professional and people are going to want to buy from you.
Yeah, everything she said is wrong.
That's why we do a panel. You're going to get different opinions, guys.
No. I like the background that I have. I have an old beadboard that I use, but I switched to white because it is fast and consistent. You get better lighting if you have a white background because the light bounces off of it better. Did it make a difference in my sales when I switched to white? It did not, but it's supposed to. White is very consistent, and that I think there's some value to that. So not everything Rachel said is wrong, just pretty much everything else.
I honestly don't see how Rachel.
I am never going to follow Rachel.
I just don't understand how she is even making it becoming a reseller, because you clearly
You guys gotta get the tire marks off my back.
You don't use a white background unless the item is white. You clearly use a black background for black items, a red background for red items. We know this. Like I've been selling for 17 years and I've used the same color background for the item and it works like a charm. And for those who really thought I was serious, please don't. Rachel is absolutely correct. Somebody will think I'm serious.
Yeah.
So Rachel,
I was about to say something about
the algorithm. The algorithm loves
colors.
white backgrounds. But with that being said, I don't use white backgrounds just because I don't want to look like everybody else and have the same pictures as everybody else with a plain white background. I know as long as my item is good, I'm taking good pictures, I'll get shown. So for the most part, I just want my eBay store to have the same background. So I just use this little sheet I have right here, this green background that I'm trying to put in the camera, the opposite side, and that's what I use as my background.
Is that a rug?
Nice.
Let me
Clean.
see.
Yep. It's a nice little blanket. It's fluffy on one side and cozy on the other. And I just use this side for my background. And it's very consistent. So you go to my eBay store, you're going to see the same background on every single item. And that's what I kind of go for on my store.
Can you, real quickly, Tay, do you care one more time to say Rachel is absolutely correct? Because I want to go back and snip that into my next video.
Rachel,
listen,
absolutely correct one time in this video. I'm just kidding.
I got a message that I was supposed to record Tay doing the dolphin. You can take short clips out of the live.
Yeah, go find it. That's a long clip. You got to find out. Here all day.
I'm with Rachel on this one. I am 100% all white background all the way. That is kind of mixed for me. One is Google does pick it up better. Two is I used to be a photographer for 8 years before I was a nurse. So I'm kind of OCD about stuff looking like really professional. And I think the white background and kind of floating does that. So yeah, I think mine is just like, I think it looks more professional. I agree with Tay though, to where they do look different. So if everybody's using white and you're using green, then yours is going to stand out. But for me, I'm like, I like the floating item. Like, I think it looks professional, and that's just my opinion, but you got to do you. That's why, again, I have the panel. We're going to give you different opinions. Do what you want to do. Do what works for you. You could do like all black background if you wanted, if it made things pop. Like with white glass and clear glass, sometimes I will go with an all black background. So it really, 99% of the time I'm doing white background. I'm not going to lie. When I do my eBay store reviews, I'm like, you should remove the background. If anybody's been in my store reviews, I'm like, use photo room. It's just like an OCD thing for me. I'm not going to lie. Not gonna lie. Hold on, I'm scrolling. Oh, somebody was asking, I had it and I don't, oh, here, Miss Carla. Is it necessary to have a store? She's saying she just lists stuff. So when, I guess we could say when we each think somebody should get a store.
I think the greatest benefit is once you run out of free listings, there are some additional perks like shipping supplies coupons, and I don't even think vacation mode is restricted just to stores anymore, but I could be wrong about
No,
that.
they said it's not.
Yeah, so I think Carla, as long as you still have free listings, there's no reason that you have to have a store.
Yeah, I agree with Rachel 100%. I have two stores. I have one that is our store we sell everything out of, and then I created one so that for my teaching videos, where like Charnel, thank you for the nice comment, but I that one is not an actual store. It doesn't, until you pass up 400 or 500 items and you know you're going to be doing it consistently for a very long time, then you get some perks like getting back part of your money with the coupons for the shipping supplies and things like that. But you don't have to have a store.
Again, these two guests have provided some wonderful answers that I have nothing to add on top.
And I do not either. I think they covered it perfectly. I agree. All right. Miss Joyce, do we delete sold items once they're sold, or do we keep the listing showing the items have sold and for sale? So I think what she's asking is the out of stock option. So eBay has an out of stock option, and you can make it where the item is still there, but it shows 0 quantity available. I think that's what Joyce is referring to.
Yeah, I think if that's what she's referring to, then it doesn't show up in sold comps. But then, like I saw Lindy Glenn get into some trouble with items that had an expiration date for using the out of stock option. So, be careful with things like that. I don't use out of stock. My items just sell, and I would never delete it as a sold. I don't even delete, like on Poshmark, when an item sells on another platform, you can go in and you can either say not available or delete the listing. I just say not available. I don't even delete it off of there then.
Yeah, I have never used the out of stock option, so I'm not even sure I would know how to. So I'm not deleting anything. They come off there eventually.
And I read the question wrong, so yeah, that part. I thought you were talking about deleting the unsold part, like when you have something in that's unsold. I delete those, but as far as sold, no, I've never deleted the sold or used the out of stock option.
Yeah, I don't either. And one of my main reasons is I want you, people that are watching me, to be able to go see my sold items. I don't want to hide anything in my store. I want to be very transparent. I think some people do that so people don't see their sold items, but I'm very, very transparent and want to show it. Carrie says, I do not seem like a crier. I will not lie. I'm a bit of a hard ass overall, guys. But I do cry. I do cry, but not often. not often. When it comes to Dalton, though, that would definitely be like that would be the crying time. Other stuff, not so much.
I'm with you. I'm not a crier. And when Israel started preschool, it was the first day that he had ever been away from us. He'd never even been to daycare. And I was with you.
Dalton's the same.
Yes, I was like, how is my baby going to do this? And he got out of my car and walked straight in and never even looked back. And I went home and my husband and I both cried.
Yeah, okay. I know. We were driving to orientation today, and Brad's like, how are we taking this kid to school? Yeah. Like what? Where did this 4 years just go? It's like time really. And you guys saw Brooke for 2 seconds, which I don't think she's really ever been on my channel. She's in college. That's my 20-year-old. And yeah, it's crazy. Like, yeah, the high school thing too, that's a big jump. So I've been through all this before, but like my other kids went to daycare. They went to daycare, so they had been without me. I was working. Dalton has never. And it's funny because we tried to get him to go stay with Brad's sister. And he's like, no, I like my house the best. Like, he's like, I'm not sleeping over with nobody. I'm staying home. So yeah, that'll be hard. That'll be harder when he decides he wants to go, like stay the night at a friend's house or something and not be home at night. That'll be the hard part. M. Jane Jewelry Findings, $1.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate you here. Oh, should we do Taya Dolphin? We should
He's
do
really
Tay a
good at
dolphin.
it. I want to see what
Here's
animal
Tay.
comes up this time.
Here's Tay. This might not be a dolphin. It might be a seal or a rooster. I don't know.
I
But
gotta
here's
focus. I
Tay.
gotta think what a dolphin sounds like. Hold on. I got it. You're right.
They do kind of eat a little bit. Okay, we're making a little bit of progress. Let
me get it. Well, the days
A
over
little
with.
bit.
Be a professional dolphin sounder.
We're gonna send Tay to dolphin school to impersonate a dolphin. Michelle has a question for me. I'm afraid of what the shipping cost would be on a high bid auction. What's your experience been? Right now, I'm only pick on local ones I can pick up. My experience has been all over the board. And my suggestion is, if you're bidding on something to be shipped, you better have a lot of profit in it, because some of them are going to hit you with shipping fees. Make sure you read their terms. Some of them charge $10 a lot. Some of them charge $10 a box. Some of them are really nice and only charge USPS fees. Read the terms, for one. The ones that charge straight USPS fees are going to be the best. But a lot of them like only using flat rate boxes. So they'll put like something that could go first class and a priority flat rate. And I'm like, what the heck are you So beware of that. But typically, if I'm buying lots, I have plenty of room where even if they charge me $50 or $100 for shipping, I'm still okay. So I would say have a lot of room in there. I do not recommend getting most breakables from an auction that is shipped, because it could come to you broken. And most of the time, high bids they're not going to give you insurance. So like I tend to do stuff like my linens and like the Harley pin stuff that they can't break. I will occasionally, like all my Kachinas came from high bid auctions. Those are very fragile, but probably 30 to 40% of them come to me damaged. And I know that, but I can't find Kachinas here because they're mostly in the Southwest US. So that's like something I have to, it comes with it if I want to buy my Kachinas. What's he trying to get shoes? Who's he trying to get shoes from?
Oh, we were talking about Chippy Paint earlier when he said that.
Oh, the chip and paint. He'll restore your shoes for you. Derek will. So Joe says she gets a rider on her renter's insurance. So, I mean, check with your insurance agent, guys, as far as the inventory. I didn't have the option to add it to my homeowners. So it really depends on your company for sure. Hold on, I'm scrolling. We have almost 600 in the chat, guys. Thank you all for coming with us. I appreciate it. Marsha's saying, explain you buy at 10% of the sales price. Yeah, so typically if it sells for $10, I didn't pay more than $1. If it sells for $100, I typically am not going to pay more than 10. I might pay up to 20, but because I do a lot of lots, 10% is normal, but with my high dollar, a lot of times it goes higher than that. I'll tell you guys, one of these quilts I paid $150 for. $150, but I think I'll be able to get $600 to $700 for that quilt. So that's not 10%, but it's going to be like a $300 to $400 profit. It's amazing. It's a king size quilt, and almost every inch of it is hand cross stitch and hand quilted. It is so amazing. Like, these quilts are out of, I probably pissed some people off because I was like, I'm winning this thing. Like, I don't care how much I have to pay. Like, and they won one of them because I wasn't paying attention. So they were probably very happy about the one that they won. But I won all of the quilts except for one. Am I frozen
we have
again?
a crazy troll in the chat.
A what?
A crazy troll in the chat. Someone named a rural squirrel talking about Scott and Rachel doing their dolphin impersonation.
Someone needs to delete her. She's
to block
a little
her
squirrely.
as soon as possible.
I think she's coming on my show soon.
I hope so. She's awesome.
Be careful what she asks for.
I mean, if you send a super chat and tell me you want Scott or Rachel, I'll put them up. I'm not gonna lie. I'll put them up.
Show me the money.
You're getting paid, not me.
Hi, Jake. What's going on? Yay! Thank you all for subscribing to everybody. Texas Lady said she subscribed to Tay. Definitely subscribe, guys. I needed a soda, yes, but I got a tea. Whatever they would bring me, I was like the whole where you like swallow wrong and your throat's dry, and I was Bradford, I did not finally fire Julian. He's on vacation. Not really vacation. He's on the 127 sale. He's working, making content for you guys, sourcing some stuff. He'll be back next week. He'll be back next week. Tay, do you want to tell them a little bit about the show? I'm okay with that. They're asking summarize the show for them.
Yeah. So the premise of 60 Days In, they take people who live their everyday lives and they throw them in a scenario where they go to jail, and they just see if they can survive. And some people have certain missions to do while they're back there, and it'll be coming out on A&E August 18th at 9 p.m. But this season is special. I think this is season number 7. Yeah, I should know this stuff. But yeah, season number 7. And they have, this is the first time that they're going to have 7 formerly incarcerated people go back. So if you don't know, my name is Prisoner Prophet. I did some actual real prison time before. And I came home and, wanted to show everybody like you can change your life and do better. So that's how I kind of got selected for the show, which was just crazy because I was kind of embarrassed of my name when I first started this YouTube stuff, Prisoner Prophet. I was so scared to even say Prisoner Prophet. And because of that was one of the reasons I got to go on for this wonderful opportunity. But because of the contract, obviously there's so much that I can't talk about right now. I have to wait until the season actually premieres. But if you like reality TV, it is a reality TV show. And I will go ahead and say it is 100% real. There's pretty much nothing back there that is scripted. And it's just, it gives you a look at how people are being treated in prison or in jail and how the CEOs are treating people and how are they being treated. Just the whole thing. There is a trailer out that you can go see. I think it's on Instagram. It's on YouTube and Facebook. It's on either A&E or 60 Days In. You either follow one of those hashtags, you'll be able to find the trailer.
Perfect. All right, one more question since my husband is messaging me, telling me to get off. He says he's watching me and I don't look like I'm only taking one more question. Pockets and stitches. I have a lady wanting to send me a prepaid label international so she doesn't have to pay the extra eBay fees. What are your thoughts?
I would run really fast. I'm a pretty good runner. I wouldn't do that. I just thinking Murphy's Law, the 1,000 things that could go wrong with this. You're using a platform for a reason. You want to use like their methods of shipping and their methods of communication. And I mean, there are certain things you can even get kicked off a platform for doing things like that. But I also know that like this guy had some nesting dolls and kind of a weird situation with that. And he did some things I never would have. So, I mean, share with them what you think, Scott.
I'm not nearly the runner that Rachel is, but when anybody asks me to do anything off of the eBay platform, I'm noping out of that situation. What she's talking about, the nesting dolls, is that there was a lady that I had sold nesting dolls to who...
Oh, that's the one you bought!
So, but she wanted another set from another seller, and the seller told her, I am not shipping out of the country. And she said, if you buy them, I will buy them from you. But I did all of it on eBay, and she paid for them, and I got everything done. And the worst thing that would happen is I would have lost a couple of $100, but I wasn't going to. She didn't give those vibes off. If somebody's asking me to do something off of eBay, no, I'm not doing that at all. First of all, and Rachel's right. You can get in trouble. And I've built a business here that I'm not gambling with. It's one thing for me to buy some nesting dolls that maybe the lady doesn't follow through with. It's quite another for me to risk my business that I've invested in because somebody else wants to save $12.
And obviously, devil's advocate here. The first thing I would do is call the police because that person is a scammer, they're a terrorist, and they can't be trusted. So yeah, that's what I would do. I would immediately just block that person and never talk to them again. No, because I'm a firm believer, just like Scott. Like I enjoy selling on eBay. I enjoy making money. This is my livelihood. So I don't want to do anything outside of eBay guidelines, even if you can get away with it once or something like that. Like, I'm not trying to do that at all. You know, like I used to sell expired items on eBay. I don't even do that no more. Like, I'm trying to do everything by the book as I can, because it's just not worth it. And you do have a lot of people who do a lot of scams and stuff out there too. So just want to be aware of that. But yeah, even if that's legit, I wouldn't do it just because. And normally when I get messages like that, I immediately send a message back. I'm sorry, this sounds like it's out of eBay guidelines, and I just don't want to do that. So
okay, I'm gonna go a little bit against everybody else. Not internationally, but within the US, I have had people send me a FedEx label like through their company because they get a bigger discount than I do. And they emailed me the label and I use their label. You can still input the tracking if it's a valid label. So I don't know if I would international. I saw Troy Mountain Man in there. I would maybe offer to switch it to standard international instead of global shipping, so it's cheaper for them. But I have done it locally, and they literally sent me almost like a pirate ship label to ship it to them using their FedEx account, because they get a bigger discount than eBay does. So I don't know that I would necessarily assume that it's a scam, because that would be like me buying a pirate ship label from like Canada to me, because I'm like, oh, it's cheaper for me to buy it and offer to do that. So that might be the case, but here would be my concern with international. They might put the wrong dollar amount. Like for customs, they might put it's a gift. So that's something with international I would be scared of, because then you're the one shipping it without truthful information. So I probably would not do it international, but I don't necessarily think it's a scam, because I've had people within the US do that for me for larger items with their FedEx. I had somebody call, and this was scary, with chairs. Okay, I'll put them up together. And they might or might not do anything. I don't know. We'll see. Then we'll let them tell us bye. So somebody called the FedEx store in my location. I literally walked in with $300 Ethan Allen chairs into a FedEx store, set them down, and walked out. And they're like, okay, we got it, thanks. And they got there. I got good feedback. It was a weird, like, how would you feel walking into a FedEx store with a chair? I'm like, here, this guy said he called you. Yeah. And they're like, yep, we know what to do. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm pulling me and Tay out. A rural squirrel wants Rachel and Scott, and then I will let Rachel and Scott tell you bye. And Tay, all right, me and Tay are going out. Wait, I can't figure out what I'm doing. Hold on.
Scott, I don't believe that you would do that. Listen, never take yourself so seriously that you can't be a random dolphin in front of however many hundreds of people are here. I'll do it, okay? And I feel like that's a pretty good dolphin.
That was a great dolphin. I am noping out of that situation. Not for $2 that I don't get.
Do it, Scott.
Scott. Oh, we're all mixed up now. Look, what'd I do? Hold on.
Wait. I'm not in the hot seat. I don't know. There
are no more questions. There are no more questions.
I don't want Rachel following me.
When we flip flop like that, it feels like the Brady Bunch.
It does. Hold on. There we go. Okay, we're back right. All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to let everybody tell you guys bye. Next week, Julian is back. He is not fired, along with Mike, Golden State Picker, and Troy from Mountain Man Treasure. I'm going to let Rachel, Scott, and Tay tell you guys bye. Tell them if you guys have lives, when your videos are coming out. Definitely subscribe to these guys. I appreciate all three of you coming on. Here is Rachel.
I want to thank you on behalf of Julian for not firing him, because someone needed to say that. Thank you guys so much for having me on. I always enjoy this show so much because I learn stuff and it's just a good time. I want to say thank you to everyone in the chat for the excellent questions tonight. If you're not subscribed, I would extremely value your subscription over on my channel. It's just my name, Rachel Strickland.
Perfect. Here's Scott.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Be a dolphin.
No. I put out videos at least once a week. I have a lot of beginner tutorial videos for people that are wanting to get into eBay, and this fall, I am going to have a massive giveaway. We're going to be giving away, I mean, thousands and thousands of items. So if you're in the Central Texas area, keep your eyes open for that. We'll have plenty of quality inventory for people. So that's it.
Perfect. Here's Tay.
And thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with Kat in her chat. And make sure that you smash that like button if you can, if you haven't currently hit that like button. And thank you for all the good questions, guys. And just give yourselves a round of applause because, you know, you asking the questions lets us know that you're hungry to be able to go out there and do this. And that's what it's about. You know, there are so many YouTube channels out there. I would love to say come subscribe to my channel, but you don't have to, because I just want you to subscribe to a channel that you're going to learn some information. So go find a channel of a reseller who puts out some good content that you actually enjoy and go subscribe to them and actually utilize the information that you're learning. You know, don't sit back forever and just learn for 6 months, you know, start dabbing in the actual things that you're learning, you know. So don't take forever. This reselling thing can free you up for so much. Like I have a newborn baby, shout out to my baby. And I have the freedom to be able to be with my baby because of this reselling stuff. You know, if it wasn't for reselling, I would be stuck doing my 9-to-5 job or, you know, working for a salary somewhere, you know, which is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But with the freedom of being a reseller, like I literally don't have to worry about only having 2 paid vacations every year and, you know, only having 4 or 5 sick days a year. Like I can literally do what I want to do. And that's what it's about more than anything, more than the financial freedom that it can provide. It's about the freedom mentally that it provides and the freedom just being able to do what we want to do on a regular basis, spending time with our loved ones. So, you know, if it wasn't for reselling, there's no telling where me, Prison of Profit, would be. It's just giving me such a freedom, and I, you know, low key, I owe my life to reselling. And yeah, everything good that I ever had has became because of reselling. So thank you so much, Kat, for allowing me to be your co-host. And yeah, make sure you go subscribe to Chachingking, Scott, and Rachel Strickland. And I always say in my videos, make sure that you bless somebody today because I'm gonna bless somebody tomorrow, because I believe that too. We're all here for a purpose. You know, I know I'm not trying to get too deep on you guys, but you know, some of us, we're not successful in our reselling business because we're not putting positive energy out for other people. So just think about that. You know, maybe you're slacking somewhere area in your life is because you're not doing the right things that you know you need to do, you know. So try to put some positive blessings out, and it's not necessarily monetary. You know, you can smile at somebody, pick up the phone, talk to somebody that you haven't talked to in a long time, you know, one of the friends that crossed your mind, you know, just pick up the phone, hit them up. So just try to pass as many blessings that you can daily, you know, and with that you'll receive some too. So yeah, that's about it.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm all about being positive, guys. The more positivity you put out there and the more you believe you can do stuff, the more you actually can. That's why the whole like don't blame anybody. Figure out a way. If it's not working, you can figure out a different way that it will work. I've been watching a lot of motivational stuff. It is a game changer when you change your mentality and the way you think. You can do a lot more stuff with positive thinking. So I appreciate you all. We will see you guys next week. I am doing a high dollar what sold video tomorrow. Tomorrow's Dalton's first day of school. I might cry. I won't lie. I might cry. I appreciate you guys coming. We will see you next week, Tuesday. Bye for now.